Hi YouTube, today I have the Boker baby bat. Yes, it is a small folding hawkbill, liner lock. And where is the big brother? This is the Batman, or sometimes called just the Bat. Check out my previous review. But the idea of the baby bat, yes, you guessed it, it's just a more compact, slightly shorter version of the bat. Now this is 3.5 inches in blade length, and this is 3 1/4. So the blade is not actually that much shorter, but the handle is noticeably shorter on the baby bat. All right, so that's where we're at there. As for the construction, we have a G10 handle scales, open pillar, pocket clip is 2 position, lanyard hole, bead blast finish on the blade, liner lock. It locks securely. As your openers, you have dual thumb studs and a flipper. All right, now this is a budget Boker from China. Okay, so let's get into the damage here. Flipper doesn't work. It's a crap flipper. I did loosen the pivot screw to try to make it work, because usually you have to do that with Bokers. They come super tight. But if you loosen the pivot screw enough that it can flip out, the amount of blade play you're going to get is just unacceptable. So no, even messing with the pivot screw, yeah, you can loosen it enough to flip it out, but you're going to get the blade flopping way too much. So this might as well not have a flipper. And it wouldn't be so bad if it just didn't have a flipper in the first place, because the thumb studs actually, they work fine, right? The thumb studs work fine. Doesn't really need a flipper. So yeah, I mean, a flipper that doesn't work, to me, is worse than just not having that flipper at all. The next thing that's kind of strange is they went with the G10, but this is smooth. It's not a grippy textured G10. I find that strange for a knife that's pretty much a single purpose tactical design. It's a one purpose knife, essentially, with a blade shaped like that. On the larger version, the G10 is grippy, okay? It has a texture on the G10, which made sense to me. So yeah, what's the point in G10 if they're going to smooth it out like that? And I'm not real crazy about the bead blast finish, because it'll rust easier. And the whole point of a small defensive knife is that you always have it, right? So if you're going to carry this a lot, the last thing you want is the rust finish. I would like any other finish. Black, stonewash, satin, anything would be better than that bead blast. Okay, so the non-grippy scales, the bead blast or rust blast, and the non-functional flipper, that's what I don't like. What I do like is the ergonomics. Yeah, they give you a little thumb ramp. Yeah, I mean, that's good ergonomics there. That groove. And unlike the big bat, this is actually not too thick or boxy. This is actually a good thickness for the handle as a feather light little slasher. So the ergonomics are good. The lockup is secure. The deployment is fine if you just pretend that the flipper wasn't supposed to be there. As far as the sharpness, let's see. Yeah, not that sharp. Yeah, you see that there? That almost did well. Yeah, so it's ripping the paper. You know, you can argue that it's all about the pointed tip hooking in, right? You know, my cat's claw doesn't have an edge, but my cat can slash the crap out of you and draw a lot of blood with the tip. So can tiger, bear, any animal's claw like that. But at the same time, if you compare this crap edge to something like the Cold Steel Tiger, which has an incredible edge, or the Spyderco Civilian, which has a godly edge, you know, this ends up looking pretty bad. Now, as far as the actual use of the blade, it would do all right. I mean, it'll do just as well as any other hawkbill. You know, these are little slashers. Really, I mean, if you think about it, it's kind of a combat evolution of the box cutter. Because when people use box cutters as weapons, you know, they're using it as little slashers. So think of it as kind of a box cutter that hooks forward and is longer, a little more sturdy. So yeah, as like a small mini slasher, it would be fairly effective. I'm assuming if you're checking out folders for that purpose that you're maybe not able to carry a fixed blade legally or whatnot. And people will say, "Oh, you shouldn't use something that small." Well, again, if you're tuning into videos of small folders, I'm assuming that wherever you live, maybe you're just not able to carry anything else. Okay, so I compare this to other things of its size. I don't compare it to a longsword. Now, in addition to the striking capability, it's also got close cutting and draw cutting ability. In other words, all right, you push that tip in and you can open someone up just like you're opening a package. You know, sharp edge or not, when that tip is already in there, it's just going to rip someone open. And something like this could also be seen as an anti-grappling knife. For example, if someone was trying to, let's say, strangle you, obviously their hands, your neck, their forearm is inherently close to your body. If you're not strong enough to pull that, you know, to break that hold, well, this is what will break it. You know, this is an equalizer. Same thing if someone's trying to grab your gun. And the last discussion point, the steel is 440C. I got no problem with that steel for this price range and this type of knife, because this is not the type of knife that you're going to use for hours and hours to cut up like 10,000 boxes or anything. Alright, so the edge retention, you know, it's not that important for this type of knife. It's just not. And the price range, it's not a collectible knife, so I wouldn't expect a premium steel. Alright, so that's my thoughts on it. Kind of a mixed review. It's definitely not a totally optimized design for what it's supposed to do, but at the same time, it grows on you. I got to admit, it grows on you in the hand. So yeah, for its price, I just like the bigger bat. I do think this is a bit overpriced. I think it should be like 10 bucks less. But yes, a mixed review, but hopefully also, you know, a fair, balanced, and honest review. This has been We All Juggle Knives. I'm out.